So it looks like we got some surface rust forming. So I'm gonna be taking care of some of the darker rust spots now with the rust converter, just because we need to start getting most of the rust out of the floor, so then we can actually start putting some floorboards down. So this is what I mean, like the surface rust keeps coming back just because we're not dealing with it fast enough, and also we did wash it out, so some of the water didn't get dried up, so I think that's why the surface rust appeared more. Actually really nice here, 16 degrees, so much better than working. He's working.
I've been working, man. But Tamra's been a busy body, doing all the works today. Doing a good job, putting the rust converter on, and gonna prime it up, and then put the white coat on. But it doesn't really matter how it looks, because no one's gonna see this afterwards. Just kind of want to stop it from spreading like crazy. Most of it was surface rust here, because we actually had, you've probably seen in the past vlog when we were like using the pressure washer, we were actually just cleaning this and scrubbing the bottom, making sure that there was no I don't know, we just wanted to have a freshly clean on the inside here. So that's actually what I think the rust stuck to, is it stuck to some molecules, some particles. Water kind of like sat there, and so then it started some areas that were exposed to rust. But there, like when it's like this is just surface rust. It's really easy to remove this. Tell them her product sucks.
It died at 25%.
It didn't matter what I was saying anyways.
Surface rust.
Yeah, just surface rust.
Going to prime it. I'm running out of primer. Ah, annoying. Well, I got the first coat of paint on, so that's progress today. Oh, it's sticky in here. I think in a few days I'll do the other side of the van with the prime and then paint, and then I'll probably do a second coat of paint on here, and it will be good to go, this floor, except for there's a few, like along the base of the walls, there's a lot of rust and holes. I'll show you. Like in here, underneath, and then like this, a little bit of gapping. I've kind of filled some of them in with that JB weld, but we might have to just silicone it, because we're not going to be cutting apart the metal and welding a new piece. We just don't have that equipment, and yeah, that's just a lot.
Good news is it looks like mostly surface rust. On this side anyway. Of course, I guess they'll win. Right, they're trying to do this. when they stayed on red.
Process of letting the paint dry. Our first coat, one section, we also found a area that we needed more rust converter on, so I didn't prime everything yet. I just primed about the front half, the half that actually was missing the most paint, that step there, and on the side wall. It's just like where a lot of traffic flows through, so a lot of scratches and paint missing, and also just it doesn't help for the fact that kind of sheet metal that they use on the inside of vans and vehicles, the coat of paint isn't that thick, so it's a really thin coat, so that's why there's so much paint missing from it, and we're just reapplying basically.
This is where we're at right now in terms of the floor. So the rust converter that we put on the floors and some of the wall boards, or wall where it butts up with the floor, probably had to put maybe 1 or 2 coats on. And then the primer, the gray spray, usually 2 coats. Some spots we only put 1 just because the buildup of paint was okay. And with the white paint, 1 or 2 coats of that. So the part where I'm standing right now is actually still sticky from yesterday. So they say in between coats, you're either waiting an hour before you're putting the next coat of paint on, or you're waiting 48 hours in between. So we did wait an hour yesterday between each coat. So I think we did like 4 coats of primer and paint like combined. So right now it's still tacky a bit and it hasn't fully dried, even though we had the van airing out for like hours. This half looks really good. This half is just very like spotty, and you could tell kind of a rush job, I guess, or just like someone that doesn't have experience with spray paint. Me. The next step after the rust and paint and everything will be to put the kill mat all over it, sound dampening, because right now, you know, it's bare sheet metal. There's nothing to insulate it, nothing to take any of the sound off. We hear all of the rattles when we're driving. So good progress so far.
So I'm just gonna use some penetrating oil, just so that it can break down, if there is any rust, which there probably is, break down any of the rust that's stuck in the threads for our screws, and then put a little bit of oil on the screws themselves so they can slide right in. Tamra's working on wiping it down, washing it down, but we're currently working on the second bucket seat. And this is actually just the seat belt alarm. That's what that electrical is. But these are the screws themselves. So use this, just give her a go. You can see that we already used a little bit in some of the screw holes, but a little bit more just to make sure that those threads are good. So I have a feeling when I was removing the screws initially from when we removed the the bends, they were not the easiest to remove. So I have a feeling that the threads in there are kind of chewed up, and my only fear is that the previous owners, if they had done something similar, if they had cross-thread any of the holes. But I was definitely having a challenging time when I was taking it apart. So we'll see how easy it is with the bucket seat. It's kind of funny, this bucket seat, it's actually from the UK. So you can see on this side here, this is for the e-brake. So you can see it has a mount for the e-brake, because obviously they drive on the other side of the road. Weirdos. But that's what we have. So we actually have 2 driver's seats, but I checked ahead of time, and they have the exact, it was cheaper, it was cheaper, and they have the exact same hole placement. So I figure we'll just do that instead, and if it, assuming that it fits well, we're going to remove that part from it, or we'll see, maybe we can mount something to it, I don't know. But that's the plan anyways going forward. So we already are running into some problems with the threads, which is a fear of mine. But they do thread in. They're just, look at that, all that rust.
More rust in there?
But yeah, so the impact will probably get it done. But you can see on there, this one I'm concerned about. It doesn't look too good. I don't even know what's going on in that one. A lot of dirt, grime, paint. Too tight. See that these all fit in here. Nice. So we got them all in. Look at that. We did it, baby! Now we just need to find a chair for you. There we go. I did that just multiple times, so if we ever have to remove it, it'll be able to be removed. That was a big deal for me. I want to make sure that all these can come out.
Hollow and empty, it's literally just it's just hollow. More of a, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it's never a bad thing to have it take longer to dry. Like if you give it more time, that's never a bad thing.